Right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Madison Gunkel. I am an instructional designer with the Center for Instructional Technology. You should be hearing audio right now. If you don't, I have a few suggestions of things to check. Please make sure that the volume's turned up on both your computer and your headset if you have one. Also, there is a sound check option within the audio panel, and just make sure that your sound bar is moving. If still not working, I would recommend dialing in using the telephone option, which will give you a number and access code to use when you dial in. And last but not least, if all else fails, you have an option to call the GoToWebinar support shown at that number. You will not need a camera or microphone today. You will be in listen-only mode. So we do encourage you, if you have any questions or comments, to use the question panel. And we do have a few others here joining me today to help answer questions. We have Heidi Huffhaig, who is also an instructional designer. And then we have Vartika and Nancy from UCertify. So Vartika and I are going to kind of be doing two parts to this webinar today. The first one is going to be done by myself, and I just want to show you how UCertify is integrated from the IvyLearn side, and then Vartika will talk more about the integration from the UCertify side. So the two courses that are using UCertify are CSIA106 and SDEV270. So both courses have single sign-on access. So that means that once the students are signed into Canvas, it recognizes their role as either a student or instructor and automatically takes them to the appropriate course on the UCertify side. So they don't have to sign in, and it pulls their user permissions from IvyLearn. So as an instructor, you have a couple things that you need to do within IvyLearn to generate your section within UCertify. So right now I have CSIA 106 pulled up, and you'll see here that there are some tasks within the module, and you'll see they are labeled here as UCertify for those that are connected to the UCertify side. So as an instructor, you just need to click on one of these links to essentially activate, oh, that was the wrong one, to activate your section within UCertify. So by doing this, again, it'll generate your section, and then your students, again, it'll recognize their user permissions. It will put them in your section as well. So all of that setup is done for you. You'll notice at the top here, when you click on any UCertify link, it'll say, hello, your name, and you have the option here to click on my library. It'll show your courses. So I'm gonna pause here. I'll let Vartika cover the UCertify side, but I just wanted to mention a few other things within IvyLearn. We do have the assignments integrated in a way so that when your students complete an assignment, for example, I'll click on this lab, when they click on it, it will give them an option to load the lab or the assignment within UCertify, but it's also set up in a way so that all of the grades from what they complete in UCertify will be passed back to Canvas. So you have all of the grades already put in here. You'll see some of the labs, practice tests, things like that are already set up and will transfer directly into your IvyLearn gradebook, which is really nice. With that being said, and I don't see any questions about the IvyLearn component, I am going to go ahead and give presenter rights to Vartika so she can talk a little bit more about the integration on the UCertify side.
Okay, so hello everyone. Now once you'll be logged in over here in UCertify, you'll be taken to this page, track. Now from track, you'll be able to track all your students' test history and their progress report. Now using the track option available here, you'll have multiple tabs using which you can go through the report, starting with the roster available over here. Now within roster, you'll be able to see all your students who are there within your classes. If you want to take a look at the email address or the other details, say for example, here you can go through the readiness percentage that they have achieved in the course. Other than that, here you can go through the other details like the start date, target date. Now, All other than that, here even the estimated days would also be showing up. Now the system, depending on the student base, will calculate the estimated days required, and here it will, you as an instructor can keep a track of it, and also you'll be able to take a look at your students' last login. Now, other than this, here using the setting option available, if you want to set tag for any of your students, like just in order to work with them, if any of the students are weak or good in their work, you can just create up those tags and save it for their name. Once you have those created those tags, it will start showing up for the student name, and using those tags, you can work with them. And also, if you want to search for any particular student using the email address, or here's also an advanced search option using which you can go through this and you can make a search for any of the particular student depending on these attributes. Even you can sort them up if required. And other than this, here's an option that you can go through each of your student study planner. So selecting the option, this will open up the study planner for you, and going through the study planner, you'll be able to see all your students report over here on the single page. So starting with the pre-assessment, now here if you notice, the buttons would be white in color by default, but once the students have worked on these areas, you'll be able to see how much of the that particular area they have completed over here. Say hovering over this, it shows 80% completed for the quiz. Similarly, you can go through their reports over here. Now, next to it, over here in the courses, you can have an option that you can track your students' progress for the lessons over here. You can keep a track of their reading level. Like here, you can track their reading level. The gray would show that they have not yet started working on those lessons. Yellow would show that they are working on it. And once your students have finished off the lesson, then they can mark it up with green, and it will start showing up over here that you can go through. Other than that, you can track their scores for card, quiz, exercise, and lab available within the course. And if you click on them, you can get further details about their work, like which question they have done correct, which were the incorrect ones. You can go through all those details and the result percentage here. Now, with this, here, for example, they have done the same exercise multiple times. You can click on those percentage, and here you can get the number of attempts that they have worked on it. You can see in which particular mode they have worked on it, the performance percentage. And with this, you can even go into further details by clicking on the setting button available over here, and you can go to the result page for that attempt. If you want to review what answers they have given to each question, you can even review those from here. And if you want to delete any assessment history, you can do that from here. Similarly, you can track their lab history over here, which labs they have completed, which are the one that they're still working on, and how much time they have taken on each lab. If you hover over these, you can even track that. And same for the test prep. Now, these were the areas that were there. Other than that, the grade assessment that you have created, you can even track their scores from here. And if you want to go into further details about your student's report, here you can click on those percentage, and you'll get all the test history listed out here. And with this, if any of your students, like for any of your students, if you want to allow them for a retest, you can allow it from here. Allow it with a different day and time, and you can even allow them more time limit over here and allow them for the retest. Now, with this, there's also an option that you can go through all of your student study planner or through the activities from here. So all of your students within your class would be listed out on the left. You can select their name, and you can take a look at all their test history over here. You can see the date and time when they have worked on this assessment, the mode in which they have worked on it, performance percentage, and also their result. You can review the answers from here. Now, with this, over here, we have a resource option, using which you can go through the resources that are there within the course. And also, if you want to upload any of your own resources for the students, you can upload those files here. Now, this was all about how you can track their progress using the UCertify platform over here. But other than this, we also do provide customer support. So anytime if your students are facing any issue, using the feedback and support option, here you can select the support option, and this will allow you to go through use the UCertify support. So here you can quickly go through the system check. If there's any issue with the system, here it will be detected, it will be crossed out. You can click on this, and you can get some instructions that will help you out in fixing them. But if you're facing any other issue other than this, then here is a form. You can fill it up, attach a screenshot, and submit a ticket to us. So one of our customer support representative will get back to you in order to get those issues resolved. And anytime if you have any question or if you have any issues, you can definitely ask us for the UCertify support. Now, other than this, here, if your students want to see how to use the UCertify platform, so we have provided over here some student tutorial. There are videos on how to work on the UCertify platform. Like say, for example, anytime if students want to go back to take a look at how they can bookmark the things or they can work on the study plan and all. So here are videos for it. Also, there's a manual that they can download and use. And same goes for your instructor tools as well. You can go through these videos available over here, and you can download this manual and use. So if anyone has any question, you can feel free to ask.
I just wanted to add a couple of things in addition to what Vartika said. When Vartika talked about the support, of course, your students will contact you for any, course-related questions, but they please feel free to direct them to us if they are having technical issues using UCertify platform. That we will be able to help them with. Again, subject related questions, you guys are more capable of handling those. But anybody is free to contact us. We would, as Vartika said, our customer support people will get back to them within 24 hours. It's much less than that, but it is still within 24 hours. And that's pretty much it. Anybody, if they have any questions, we are open to answer those now.
Okay, thank you, Vartika and Nancy. Don't see any questions in our question box here, but if you do have any specific questions related to the information that they just covered, or maybe something more specific to the course that you're teaching, we're happy to answer those now. If you feel like you've gotten everything that you needed from this presentation, we thank you for your time, and you are free to leave and kind of continue with the rest of your day. We do again thank you for joining us. Did just have a question come in. I don't see how UCertify is integrated into CSIA106 and SDEV270. So Linda, right now at the statewide course level, we are not using UCertify within CSIA106 and SDEV270. I know that there are some courses, for example, like face-to-face courses that are offered at a campus level that are using UCertify more specifically. So you might want to reach out to you might want to reach out to either the mentor for that course, not at the statewide level, but if you have someone that has built that course at a campus level, I would reach out to them. Again, I'm sorry, I don't really have any more specifics than to kind of guide you to someone that might be more familiar with that at a campus level. That is a great question, Skip. Heidi, I'm going to let you answer that since that's more specific to SDEV270.
And I was muted talking to myself. Honestly, SDEV270 is set up almost identically to the course that we showed you. The only difference is I put a direct link to UCertify in the course resources. So when you would generate your section or enter into your section, you can do that from the course resources link. You wouldn't have to go through a specific assignment, but the rest of it is the same.
Okay, great questions. And like I said, we're happy to stick around and answer any other questions, or if you have anything else related to these two courses. Okay, thank you, Skip. All right, everyone. Well, I am going to go ahead and end our recording since that was kind of the main presentation from, again, the IvyLearn side and then UCertify. But we are happy to stick around and answer any questions that you might have.